What's up everybody, it's Roman Gaming here. So I just realized that we are pretty much 10 days away from the release of the PS4 Pro, and that, kind of made me want to just make a video about it and discuss it with you all. Like kind of have an open discussion and ask you all, are you, for example, getting the PS4 Pro? Let me know that in the comments. How do you feel basically about the console? And I kind of wanted to, I guess, share some final thoughts before it really comes out. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna do like a review for it, or maybe even an unboxing and stuff. I'm getting one myself. I'll first of all share my story, I guess, about the PS4 Pro. I am getting one. I've got mine pre-ordered, as I said, comes out in 10 days. I'm definitely going to be playing on it. The reason why I'm personally getting it is, of course, because, I'm a big gamer. I love playing on my PS4. It's my main console. Everybody knows that. And, I am the kind of guy that just wants the optimal experience. Like, if there is an option for me to get a more powerful version of something, I will get it if it really proves to be, a difference at least. Like, not something, if a Slim comes out, I'm not gonna bother with that because that's literally the same console, just slimmer. But now with the PS4 Pro, this is like the first time that we are really getting like a mid-gen console renewal that actually, promises to kind of deliver something else. Now, or something better, I would say, right? And this is the thing, is that I right now do not have a 4K TV, for example, and we all know that 4K is a pretty big thing with the PS4 Pro, but the way I myself look at it at the moment is that I kind of want to take the wait and see approach there. I really feel like, if I think about it right now, the PS4 Pro is gonna be more powerful than the original PS4, but at the same time, like, it's not that much more powerful. If I look at Uncharted 4 or whatever, they haven't announced any 60 frames per second mode because I think the CPU is really not like that big of an improvement that actually makes it possible for that game to run so much better. So, while it is an improvement, it's a marginal improvement, and that's really the thing. It's not as big as I would personally hope it would be, and you also see that back in the price, because it only costs $400, which is the same price the original PS4 launched for 3 years ago. It can't possibly be as big of a difference, but, that's also what I wanted to really talk about, is that the reason why I've not bought a 4K TV yet is because there I really want to get, or take the wait and see approach, because if I think about it right now, in the kind of examples they've given us with, for example, Tomb Raider, like what they've said is you can play that game in 4K at 30 frames per second, and it's not gonna have the best like graphical features and stuff. They will have to significantly tone down stuff for that game to run in 4K, while at the same time you can also play it in 1080p 60 frames per second with probably better graphical options. There's also a 30 frames mode with the absolute maximum, I guess, graphical options. But yeah, if I just kind of want to see the differences between what is this game gonna look like in 4K compared to the 1080p 60 frames per second version with, lots of graphical improvements. I just feel like maybe it's even gonna be more worth it to play these games in 1080p than at 4K. Granted, I don't have the most experience yet with 4K, so I don't know, how much better that is actually gonna make the game appear to be, but as I said, it really is like about, I can get the better frame rate and I can probably get the better graphics in general with the 1080p modes. So, whether PS4 Pro really is gonna be the console that will make me want to play games in VR, or sorry, in 4K, I'll have to wait and see. I'm really just gonna see graphical comparisons, and that will probably make me decide if I want to invest into a 4K TV right now. As of right now, I'm just satisfied with my 1080p TV, and I feel like, yeah, that's what I'll just be playing on at first when it comes out in a bit. It's weird because, like, I was thinking about the whole road to the launch of this PS4 Pro, and it's been kind of like a rocky road. We've all had our doubts and our, question marks, and we were, I think I can speak for us all, that we were all pretty skeptical about this, if it was gonna be any good. And I've heard people say that, for example, they think that the PS4 sales will significantly drop with this PS4 Pro coming out at first, and now I'm just thinking about it like, really, it's probably not gonna make that big of a difference. The PS4 hasn't been selling that well in the last 3 months. At the same time, I'm like, yeah, well, that's probably because many people are waiting for this Pro to come out, and that's why they're not getting a PS4 yet. And, moving forward in the future, it's just gonna be that when people want to get a PS4, then they'll just be able to make the choice now between a Slim and a Pro, and it's very simple. You can, if you don't care that much about the graphical features, you can just get that normal PS4 for only $300 with the extra price cut. So it's probably even gonna start start selling even more, you know, that way. While with the Pro, you're just getting a better version, and it's gonna make many people want to get to either like upgrade or to just, you know, start off with a Pro as their first PS4 console. I think it might actually only improve sales this way, but we'll have to wait and see for that. And you know, I remember that we were talking this, you know, the whole time about this advantage that the Scorpio could maybe have in a year from now, and then I'm realizing now that, like, yeah, it's looking like it really won't be that big of an improvement. Like, if the Scorpio is going to be 6 teraflops, this PS4 Pro is 4.2 teraflops, or even what Mark Cerny recently talked about, it might be like 8.4 teraflops because of a certain technique they can use and stuff. I'm like, you know what? This Scorpio that comes out in a year from now, I'm sure it's going to be more powerful, but it really, once again, is a question mark of how much of an improvement is it going to be, and will it actually help Microsoft because of the year kind of like difference that Sony has now, the year advantage, because this PS4 Pro is coming out right now while the Scorpio releases in a year, you know. We've been skeptical about so many things. Is the PS4 still going to sell as well? Is it needed for this Pro to come out? Isn't the Scorpio going to completely ruin it, as in, like, it's just gonna be more powerful and stuff? And now I'm just thinking, like, no, I think Sony is still on the right track, pretty much. This PS4 Pro is gonna sell regardless. People are gonna enjoy the graphical improvements they're gonna get, the better frame rates and stuff like that. And I myself, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like that excited actually to get one, but I know that you know, I'm just gonna get better experiences, and that's all I want. So you know, yeah, count me in. I'm definitely getting a PS4 Pro, as I said. Those were kind of, I guess, my final thoughts right now, is that my whole skepticism, I think that's a word, kind of, yeah, disappeared over the months, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting one. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what the differences really are, and maybe it's even gonna get me to want to get a 4K TV and stuff. We're just gonna have to wait and see in the end. So that's what I kind of wanted to discuss with this video, I guess, just some final thoughts on this PS4 Pro. Let me know in the comments if you are getting one, of course. How do you feel about the console right now? How big do you think the differences will be? Are you getting one on day one? Are you waiting to get one, or are you probably just sticking to your OG PS4, you know, the entire generation until the PS5 comes out? So with that being said, let me know all that, and then thanks a lot for watching, of course. Leave a quick like if you enjoyed the video. It helps my channel out a lot. You help basically, you know, just support me with that, so I appreciate it. And then for now, yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next time.